As we talked a lot of Padres baseball in the first hour, we now transition to a team that has already clinched a playoff spot here in San Diego. That is San Diego FC. Had the good victory over the weekend to give themselves a playoff spot in the MLS playoffs. And joining us right now is the one that helped put this team together. He is the San Diego FC sporting director. His name is Tyler Heaps. He joins me on the Braden Surprenant Show. Tyler, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are you, man? Thanks for having me, and looking forward to catching up about San Diego.
Yeah, it's great to talk about a team that has made the playoffs now officially, and obviously there's more goals that you guys want to achieve. But for a sporting director, and for American terms, a general manager of this team that put so many years into preparation to get the roster that you have currently. What was it like seeing them clinch a playoff spot and be the first team to do it as an expansion team, this season?
Yeah, it's a really proud moment, having been there as probably employee number one on the sporting side, and getting to hire a lot of really, really smart, intelligent people that have had a huge hand in why we've had so much success. And then being able to sign essentially every single player has been it's been a whirlwind. It's been a lot of ups and downs in that process. Everything hasn't gone perfect this year, but the fact is we set out at the beginning of the season. We wanted to put ourselves in a position to compete for playoffs. We really had no idea how it was going to go. We thought we had good players. We thought we had a good staff, but until you get behind the walls and start working every single day, I think we found out very quickly that we had that. But we also had total buy-in from the group. So it's a really proud moment. I think we were disappointed on the day not to win the game. Unfortunately, we only drew the game. But I think that's now the intention, and that's the standards of the locker room. I think we want to go after more, and we want to try to take it game by game, but we put ourselves in a real position to go after it all.
We're talking with San Diego FC sporting director Tyler Heaps, who joins us on the Braden Surprenant Show. And, Tyler, it's one of those moments where you want to be, proud of what you guys have accomplished, but obviously a lot bigger goals at hand for you guys in the club and head coach Mike Yvaris, and the way that the rest of the season plays out. How are you able to, and what does it mean to like kind of wanting to push for more, but at the same time being able to enjoy a lot of the accolades that you guys have achieved along the way?
Yeah, it's always about that balance in sports. I think you need to celebrate the wins, because those are really important moments for your culture and for your group. And so we've been trying to make sure that that's apparent. Again, we had a very disappointed locker room whenever they came off the field, because I do think we did enough to win the game, but so happens in all sports, but especially soccer. You don't always win whenever you've got more of the ball and create more chances. And so just trying to, again, they'll go back to the bigger picture, trying to make sure that the group really understands what they've been able to do. It's great that we get these fans showing up at Snapdragon. And they're included in the success that we've had so far too. So it's always about finding the balance, and it's now finding the balance the other way too, is making sure that we're not cocky and don't come across as arrogant, but that we go into each game and ensure that we still need to put in the work and still have to do all the little details that we've been doing all season that got us to this point. And I think if we do that, we give ourselves the best chances. And whether that's we finish with a home playoff game, or whether we finish at the top of the West, or whether we finish at the top of the entire league, that's still to be determined. But I do think it's that work ethic and just showing up every single day and making sure we're staying humble as a group to be able to achieve those things.
You guys have had a decent amount of San Diegans on this team, and some local products, and some from players that are from the Southern California area represent San Diego FC. And when you're trying to build a roster, and we've had some of these guys on our show as well, is there any little importance to having a local flair to it? Obviously, you'd probably like to have it if you can, but I know you're trying to build the best roster as possible. But what does it mean to have some local players represent San Diego FC on the team?
Well, we're very fortunate. We're fortunate that this area of the country has produced a lot of really good players. So whenever we were checking our list, it was just so happened that some of those players showed up because of the quality that they've had, and because they've grown up in this football-rich environment in Baja California. So I think we're fortunate because of that. We always said, and we still say this, that we want to be a reflection of this community, and that will be apparent, especially when we get this academy group fully up and running, and these guys start to get older and older and start to be integrated in the first team. But we knew we needed to also take it from the beginning and make sure we got people that get this chance to play for San Diego. Growing up, they didn't have that opportunity, and so the fact is now we can provide first team men's football to them. And There were a lot of conversations that went on early with Luca De La Torre, for example, who left at 14 years old. And so the fact is we could bring him back, and he believed in the project from the beginning, and this project means more to him because he grew up in this region and his parents are still here and now get to see him play at home every single week. So I think it's a combination of both, but what I can say is that we're fortunate. We're fortunate that this community continues to produce really good footballers, and now we get to choose from them.
We're talking with San Diego FC sporting director Tyler Heaps on the Braden Surprenant Show. Tyler, we just had a little bit of a transfer window over the last handful of weeks or so. I know you got multiple of those during the year. MLS schedule doesn't coincide with a lot of the major leagues throughout the world. How difficult is it for you and your staff to navigate, players on loan, navigate international periods? I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to soccer and football in the world that you always have to be cognizant of. How do you guys navigate that and keep everything in track?
Yeah, it's not easy, especially in this league. I would be the first to say, having worked in Europe and having that privilege, that this is probably the most complex league to work in the world. You add the salary cap, you add the roster mechanisms of how you can acquire players, you add the senior roster number of spots compared to the supplemental and the academy, and things that you guys don't need to know, but are things that we need to pay a close attention every single day, to that matter. And that dictated how we approach this transfer window. We brought in a lot of younger players because we don't have that academy fully up and running yet, and there's huge roster benefit of having those players on your team. And so it's a constant evolution in terms of how we think and why we're thinking. Again, it's a lot better to do now than it was 8 months ago. 8 months ago, we had a whiteboard and we're erasing names and writing names back up there. Now it's real. And so that also comes with difficult conversations with players about whether that their future is not here or there's another opportunity for them within the league or outside of the league. And it's part of the job. But what we have done, I think, is we've created a really good culture here. We've got a lot of really good staff members that are constantly tapping me on the shoulder and saying, hey, watch out for this or watch out for that, or have we thought about this? And those are the conversations, and that's the environment that we're trying to create and make sure that we're making decisions that are not only successful for now, but also for the future, because we need to make this thing sustainable.
From your perspective, Tyler, as somebody that, employee number one, you mentioned, and putting this team together and seeing it go through its first season, but also seeing professional soccer, at the MLS level here in San Diego for the first time. What has been your reaction to how the city has embraced the team, what the atmosphere is like? And, when you were putting this team together and doing all the hard work before you got to see games, could you imagine that you could be in this situation that you're currently in right now, at the top of the standings, having full forced crowds and basically the summer that San Diego FC has had?
It's truly remarkable. And to say, I can't sit here and say I thought this was going to happen. Especially with the fan support. I grew up in Minnesota, and I was in Minnesota. I was 21 years old whenever they got announced the MLS franchise there. And having been a part of that soccer community for so long, that was really special for me. So I feel like I have an indirect way of realizing what that meant to this community. And this community has much deeper roots in terms of soccer or football than Minnesota did at that time. So to see them come and show up day in and day out, whether we win or lose or draw, it's been remarkable going on the road and seeing these guys traveling and spending their hard-earned money to come and watch us play on the road every single week. These fans were showing up when it was just me. We had no players. And so I was going and doing some of these fan events. And the fact is they believed in the project and what I was saying at those moments. So to see some of those same faces in the crowd now, it's been truly remarkable. And to your point, you add on the success on top of that. And it has been a lot of pinch me moments this year. I think it'll probably be another one this weekend whenever we go away to LAFC. I mean, talk about what a big game. You've got Hyndman Son's home debut. It's 2 hours up the road. It's a team that historically has done really well. We're chasing their expansion record. There are so many different storylines that go into this. And again, it just goes back to taking it day by day. I think the culture and the environment that we've created has really allowed us to be in this situation, and that's what's going to continue to get us results. And again, I could have never predicted that all this stuff would have happened, though. And if you would have given me a contract at the beginning of the season and said, hey, sign here and you'll be in this moment, I think we all would have bitten people's hands off to sign that paper.
I got a couple more things for you, Tyler. Really appreciate the time. San Diego FC sporting director Tyler Heaps joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show. For you, being in San Diego now, now part of this community, aside from soccer and being the sporting director and obviously putting your heart and soul into San Diego FC. What's your favorite part about being in San Diego?
I feel like I have to say the weather. Again, I mentioned I grew up in Minnesota. I've struggled through many winters, too many, and I went from Minnesota to Chicago, and so I got to experience that type of cold on a lake. And then I was fortunate enough that I ended up in Monaco, and then now have been here. But I think it's the weather and the food, and I also think the diversity. Not the diversity in the sense of the city, but the different pockets of the city. I think there's so many special places here. Whether it's you're up in North County or you're in Chula Vista or you're in North Park or South Park. I think I've really enjoyed just going out and embracing that. I enjoy the outdoors, so I've tried to find new running routes every single weekend. It's my match day ritual. I go out and try to run on a trail or something on match days. And so you combine all that stuff together. I mean, what a special place. It's no reason why people don't leave whenever they move here to begin with. So again, I'm fortunate this sport has been able to bring me to a lot of special places, and this is definitely one of them. And what a project and what a city to be a part of.
I have to ask this, Tyler. It came out in the news. I don't, it's a rumor that's out there, and with San Diego and the rival with LA, there seemed to be some report that LAFC promised a certain amount of tickets discounted and then took back the amount of tickets that they wanted to give San Diego FC as potential visiting fans coming up over the weekend. Sounded like San Diego FC made good on it for their fans. I don't know if any of that is something you want to speak of, but I have to ask about if that was anything that came down going into this next game.
I've heard these rumblings as well. What I can say is that the company and the ownership group has done a fantastic job to be able to ensure that our fans can be there. It is a special advantage for us. I still remember that opening game away to Galaxy, walking out and seeing that whole section filled. I think it's going to be another one of those moments. And again, it's another appreciation for what this community means to us, and we mean to them. So it's look, it's a part of the rivalry. I think they probably didn't expect whenever they made that promise that they would sign a world superstar, and this would be his first home game. So I understand that there's always context involved in it. But what I can confidently say is that we'll have 600 plus San Diego fans up there at BMO Stadium, and hopefully we can turn it into our place and give them something to cheer about.
Tyler, I appreciate the time, man, and continue the great work. You guys are doing a great job. It's fun to watch and see you guys represent our city as well as you guys have done. Look forward to talking to you again.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to joining in the future.
Tyler Heaps, San Diego FC Sporting Director, joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show.